Hi guys, it's Rick Shiels down here at Quest Golf Academy, and I've got a bit of a question, a bit of a quest. Can we pick up a driver that's under £100 that still performs just as good as one that is brand new that maybe costs £400? And how could we potentially use that saving into improving our games elsewhere? Now, when I'm talking about £100 drivers, I'm talking about well-known brands that are second-hand. Sometimes £100 drivers are even cheaper that are brand new, that are from a high street market, probably not as effective because the materials that they use are quite shocking. I need to do a test on that actually. But really, I'm talking more £100 on a product that has been in its heyday worth £400, but now through second hand or over years, it's now been reduced in price more to £100. That's where we're looking for these drivers. So I jumped on the website at Golf Bidder and I actually picked 9 drivers that were all under £100. I've particularly picked 4 out today that have suited my spec brilliantly. 9.5 extra stiff shaft. And I've tested them on GC Quad with Pro V1s today to see if the performance still delivers everything that I would normally want to see in a driver. It's been really interesting. Because the big thing is, obviously, £400 driver, it's brand new, it's shiny, all your friends are particularly jealous if you've got it, but does it actually make you hit the ball any further? Does it make you hit the ball any better? Or is it more just a placebo effect because it is so much more expensive? Now, there are advantages and disadvantages both ways. The advantage of expensive drivers is particularly you get fitted for it, so you get the right loft and the right weighting system and the correct shaft, but does that make enough of a difference to spend all those hundreds of pounds? So that was the little quest I wanted to go on today. So I've picked 4 drivers. I've picked a Titleist, a TaylorMade, a Callaway and a Ping, all in roughly my loft, so 9.5 what I normally play, all in firm shafts and just shafts that were in the drivers originally. The big thing for me straight away was the condition of the drivers. Yeah, they're not perfect, but can the performance still deliver? That's what I wanted to see. So I think 5 shots with each one. And this is really interesting. So I normally carry the ball about 282. So I normally like to see a carry ball for a driver. Ball speed of about 160 miles per hour. Spin rate is close to 2,000 that I can get it. And obviously something that looks good, feels good and sounds great as well. Let's have a look at some numbers. So first off, all the club data from the 4 drivers I tested. We've got the Titleist 913, the Ping I20, the Big Bertha Alpha and the R11S. All quite a few years old, all under £100. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And you see the numbers, club head data was great, all swinging at around 130 miles per hour, what I normally do. You can see all the other deliverable numbers there as well. Just to show you this test was as close to I normally swing it. I swing it normally with any club testing that I do. So I've got some ball data. So don't forget, I normally look at a carry around 282. And almost every one of these £100 drivers didn't only hit roughly the mark that I'd want to hit, some actually exceeded the mark. So we see there the 913 at 278, really healthy hit. Wouldn't be too disappointed for that, for saving myself £300 potentially. Ping I20, 279, perfect, good numbers again. Big Bertha Alpha, 286, now that was massive. Now that was a slightly odd one because the shaft was a little bit longer. I wasn't finding maybe the dispersion that I'd like, but the distance when I got it was huge. And in the R11S, this again was producing unbelievable ball speed, great carry distances, and good spin rates. So the question, or the answer to my question there, could I find a driver that suited for £100? Well, yeah, I kind of could. The disadvantages, they weren't spec'd exactly to me. 3 of the drivers were adjustable. So the Ping was the only one that was not adjustable, but the Titleist one was, the Callaway one was, and the TaylorMade one was adjustable. So again, I could maybe tweak it. And something to bear in mind is that I test golf clubs all day, every day, pretty much. And I can adjust to a golf club pretty quickly anyway. For the average golfer, they might not be able to adjust to a golf club quite as quickly. So that's where maybe fitting is definitely an element that you need to look into. But if you were to pick one of these up for £100, and then for that other £300 that maybe you saved, pumped into golf lessons, pumped into a fitting, pumped into actually practicing your golf, maybe even getting a practice membership somewhere, would that improve your game? Do you need the shiniest toy? Or the drivers that are second-hand, that have been loved once before, can they be loved again? Because the numbers there that I was hitting were right on the mark that I need them to be. Now, the elite player, the golf professionals, the plus handicappers, the single-figure handicappers, now they might benefit in that fine-tuning process of that ridiculously expensive shaft that drops the spin rate down by 200 RPMs. The fact that you can tinker the head and maybe even apply weights where weights aren't currently being applied. All of those ideas for the elite, the best players, yes, that could work. And therefore, justifying 300, 400, 700, 800 pounds might be quite relevant if they can pick up 3, 4, 5 yards because they're doing it for a full-time living. But for your average Joe, for your average golfer, are they going to see so much of a difference when they're spending so much money on golf clubs? Or would lessons actually do a better job for them and bring down their scores more efficiently? I'd love to know your thoughts about this. I would love to know, and I'd love to know what other ideas around club testing would you like me to do. It's not all about the all singing, all dancing brand new golf clubs that are promising the world. Let's dive into some different areas. Let's dive into some golf clubs that have maybe been forgotten about. Let's dive into some ideas of budget golf sets or complete golf sets, whatever that may be. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below, comment. And I also want to know your opinion on, do you believe the latest £400 driver changes the world for you? Or does something that maybe is secondhand that you've had for years, something that you bought many years ago, does that still do the job? I'd really, really love to hear your thoughts down below. For me, I didn't see any differences at all, really, between £100 drivers. That's what we're talking about here. I mean, that is pretty impressive compared to some of the big boys that are out there. Guys, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, like the video. Thanks to the guys at Golf Bidder for helping me out and supplying these golf clubs. I have to send them all back now, but that was a really good experiment. I'd love to do more. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon. £100 drivers, they can definitely work still, without question.